What's up, guys? Enter Hoops back today with another video. And today, guys, we are talking about free agency. It's something that has actually been going on for the past couple days, obviously. But I believe when we're looking at these teams, I'm going to be grading the teams who I believe have either been the most majorly involved. So a team like the Rockets or the Pacers, who have been really going out of their way to acquire guys or make trades, or talking about teams like the Blazers, who are possibly about to enter a huge rebuild, and we got to talk about how their direction is going to be looking for it. And then obviously we're also going to talk about teams like the Rockets. So as always, guys, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. My next video is either going to be the top 10 videos of Dream Hoops, but the one issue is I'm going to be out of town for the next couple of days, so that's going to make it kind of tough. So I might just be doing a top 10 coaches video, and then next week, a week from when I'm recording this video, you guys might be getting the top 10 video of Dream Hoops. Don't forget to join the Discord, and again, as always, leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to hit 600 by the end of this month. So guys, let's really make sure we can destroy that goal. And can we also get this video to 10 plus likes? As always, that would be much appreciated. Leave a comment down below what you think of free agency so far and what you would grade everything. And then obviously, this is Emster Knows Hoops, guys. And now let's talk about arguably the most fun time in the NBA offseason. Besides the NBA draft, of course, free agency. And first, we're going to be starting off with a team that has been heavily involved in the offseason, for better and, well, for worse. So let's get started off with our first team here coming up. So coming up here with our first team, we have the Houston Rockets. And to be 100% honest with you, if I had to give them a grade, I think they would have a C. To me, my issue is I have no issue with them acquiring Dillon Brooks. I think the Dillon Brooks deal is a pretty solid deal. $20 million over 4 years. $20 million a year. That's not terrible for someone like Dillon Brooks. My issue is the Fred VanVleet deal. You extremely overpaid for another guard in a guard lineup that's already too deep to begin with. Because now, after drafting Amen Thompson, you have Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., Amen Thompson, and then that isn't even to talk about guys like Tari Eason or other players who could play at the guard position. At that point, Fred VanVleet's just eating up their minutes as well, all for the sake of veteran presence. Now, initially, if it really was $40 million for 2 years, right? So if it was just an $80 million deal, okay. I think it's a little bit of an overpay still, but at least it makes sense. But to me, what the Rockets are doing here is a little odd. And then them trading Josh Christopher, I kind of understand it because you had to get someone like Dillon Brooks in their mind. But my thing is what is this team exactly trying to do? So for me, the Rockets get a C because I feel like they kind of added the pieces they didn't need to add. And now coming up here is the Cavaliers. And I might be giving this team a D because I think you grossly overpaid for Strus with the $64 million. And to be honest, you also then traded away Cedi Osman and Lamar Stevens, who, again, they're not the greatest players in the world. But then you also re-signed Karis LeVert, who I don't know how you go through this entire season and go, out of all those small forwards I just named, Karis LeVert is the one that you want to keep. And then the other issue that you have going on here for me is that the Cavs still don't necessarily have the depth that they've been looking for. I'm not necessarily sure what this team is trying to do. I feel like that, yes, they acquired shooting, so maybe a C- is a better grade to give. But for me, I'm not quite sure what the Cavaliers were expecting here, because to me, this doesn't really feel like they've added what they truly need when they need it. And I feel like as well, again, re-signing someone like Karis LeVert is a little odd to me. I feel like you overpaid for a guy like Strus, and you still don't really have depth at the forward position at all. And your backup bigs are still a really struggling position. I'm giving an A to the Lakers. The Lakers, I'm going to be honest, this proves that this new CBA really don't affect nothing if you have the money and if you have the owner who's willing to pay it. Because, I mean, you're able to keep Reeves and an extremely cheap deal that nobody thought he was going to stay at. You then were able to bring back Rui. You then were able to bring in multiple free agents that I really think help this team out. So, for example, you got back Rui, you kept D'Lo, you then added Gabe Vincent, Taurean Prince, Cam Reddish, Jackson Hayes, and all you really lost here was Dennis Schroeder, Lonnie Walker, Malik Beasley, and Troy Brown Jr. To me, this team still did a really, really good job of adding pieces that they needed with the core of AD and LeBron. So to me, the Lakers get an A. This team is very deadly now. And to me, that's something we might need to talk about, especially when you look at other teams in the West, like the Nuggets, who technically for me, I guess, would get an F because they've just lost pieces and haven't really done anything to recover them. So to me, the Lakers get an A easily. Now, coming up next is the Indiana Pacers, who get an A from me as well. You get Obi Toppin for only a couple second rounders. You go out of your way and you get Bruce Brown on a 2-year deal. By the way, a team option 2-year deal. So if the first year comes around, right, and Bruce Brown just really not that guy, right, and they over-exaggerated how good he was just because he was on a team like the Nuggets, okay, we can get rid of you, and we don't have to pay you another $20 million. But for me, a team like that is beautiful. Like, this team's depth is one that I think is genuinely so nice now. They have a nice little 15-man rotation without having to really give up a whole lot. So to me, everything considered, the Pacers get an A because for a team that's currently finishing up or getting through a rebuild, this is the way to do it. This is how you go about actually trying to fix your squad and not having to worry about losing everything along the way. So to me, the Pacers get an A. You also did a good job of re-signing Halliburton now and not letting him get his value even higher through getting like an All-NBA team or something. So to pay him up front now is a really good deal. To me, the Pacers get an A, and they're a team that I might need to make a video about coming into the offseason. Coming up here is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I know they haven't really done anything yet, but if I had to grade something for them, they're getting a D. Here's why they're getting a D. Why the hell are you paying Jeremy Grant that much money? Who on God's green earth told you Jeremy Grant is worth that much and that would be the move that made Dame go, I can run it back with Portland one more time? Now, I've been talking about this in the Discord, my buddies over there, and there's a chance that maybe Portland did do this on purpose as a way to get Dame to want to get out so they can actually focus on finally rebuilding now that they got Scoot Henderson. But so far for me, this team's at a D. If this is what you thought was going to keep Dame, right, and it wasn't some bigger play to try and get him to want out, then I just do not understand what the hell you were thinking when you did this move. Now, I think the bigger thing that would impact the grade is what package they get back for Dame. So, for example, if they go through with the Miami deal, I mean, it's nice. They don't get a whole lot of draft capital back. But at least at that point, it's like, okay, you've got something there. But I'm not really sure yet. But right now, Portland has to be at a D because for them to do that, ridiculous. The Phoenix Suns get a B plus for me. Now, the reason they get a B plus is they really just added a lot of depth. And their depth is like good, right? Like they got good players, absolutely. For me, the Eric Gordon acquisition is what really put them up to a B plus because they were at like a B minus, C plus. Because again, you're acquiring names that are good, but the issue is that come playoff time, right? That rotation is going to be shortened, and some of these guys are never going to really see the floor like that. But I love the addition of Yuta Watanabe. I think for a team like them, that's huge. The issue is that they haven't really acquired any defense through these deals. So for me, I'm not really sure. It's like, yes, their offense keeps getting better and their depth got better. It's just they're not going to be able to defend a lick. And if they run into a team that can outscore them somehow, right? Or they run into a series where KD or Beal or Booker is having an off series, you might be screwed because you can't really defend anybody. And if you're not scoring, there ain't much else that you're doing. So to me, the Phoenix Suns get a B plus for getting really, really good role players and to get really good depth. out of basically thin air because their money is all tied up into the top 4 players. And that, to me, has been nothing short of incredible. And, guys, let me know what you think of this offseason so far. For me, I think it's been extremely interesting to see how these teams are all moving. I think it's so weird how the CBA hasn't really stopped anybody. And what I mean by that is the Lakers and the Suns are 2 teams that when we came into this offseason, we were thinking, man, the CBA is really going to screw these teams up because they don't have money. Because the whole talk is that, okay, if you're bringing back Austin Reeves, are you going to be able to keep Rui and D'Lo? Everyone was like, no, you're not going to be able to because of the money you have to give them. Well, they got Rui for 3 years. They're technically paying Rui more money than Austin. It's just that Austin gets another year on the contract. You're giving D'Lo nearly 20+ mil, and then you're paying Austin Reeves. You got all 3 back. And you added extra pieces at minimums. To me, the CBA is not quite effective at what it thought, but I want to know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with the teams I picked that were the major players in the free agency so far? Do you disagree? Is there a team that I missed? Do you agree with my grades or do you disagree? Let me know down below what you guys think. As always, guys, this is Mr. No Soups. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Peace out.